Doing it with me. Ek समय की बात है. एक समय की बात है. Or ek वक्त. Ek वक्त. Once upon a time, there were two women. Two women who were very, very rich. They lived in Bangladesh. And because they were rich, their clothes. Yes. It's also a story about the people we know from Bangladesh. Their clothes were so wonderful. Raw silk. Silk. They were made from silk. They had whatever food they wanted. It was delicious. And their house, well, it looked like this. Only much, much better. It was wonderful. And of course, they had servants. And so they would clap their hands. And the servants would bring whatever they wanted. Their hair, their faces, their shoes, their clothes, everything that they wanted. And of course, everybody gave them great respect. G. But ek din, the war began. And these two rich women, they did not live together. They lived in different houses. They sat and they said, we're all right, we're rich. We have servants, we have a big house, we are fine. But the fighting, the war, the sound got nearer and nearer and nearer and nearer. And each of these women realized that they did not get up from their beautiful chairs and run, they would die. And one of these women, as she ran from her house, she thought, how can I protect myself? And she found an axe that one of the servants had used. This is all she had, an old rusty axe. And with this axe, she ran and she ran and she ran and she ran until she came to the border. And when she crossed that border, she was no longer rich, but her money had gone. She no longer had respect. But now she was nothing but a refugee. And as she sat in this tiny little house where the rain was coming in and she was freezing cold and she had no proper food, she thought, I have lost everything. I have nothing now. I have lost everything. And then she thought, no, there is something I still have. And that is my honesty. I don't know what that word is in Urdu. Is it Amin? Amandan. Nobody can take that away from me, for that is who I am. And you also have to remember that all this time there was the other rich woman who had also ran. She hadn't taken an axe with her, and she too was cowering in a tiny little house. She had lost everything, but she wasn't thinking about Amanda. She was thinking, it's not fair. Why has this happened to me? Why? It's not right. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want to be who I am. Time went on. The woman had no money. And then she heard people saying, near here, there was a forest with wood. And in the middle of that forest, there was a tree. And a tree of wood of great value. And she remembered she had an axe. If I went into the middle of that forest and I found that tree and I chopped some of the branches and sold them, I could make my own money. Meanwhile, the other woman was sitting there and thinking, I am doing nothing. Somebody must come and help me. The woman with the axe, she got up. She pushed her way into the middle of this jungle. And there was the tree. She thought, I could just cut down one branch and I can take this and I will get money for it. And she began to chop, but she'd never done anything like this in her life. And it was hard work. And as she was chopping, suddenly the axe went up into the air, landed in the river, and it was gone. Gone. And then, out of the river, there began to rise the god of the river. And in this river god's hand, there was an axe. Not her rusty old axe, but a beautiful silver axe. And the god saw her and said, is this axe, this beautiful silver axe which is worth so much money, is this yours? She thought, if I have this, I can be rich again. Then she remembered what she had said. The only thing which belongs to me now is my honesty, Amanda. Nay, not mine. The river god went down, 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 back into the river, then came up this time with a beautiful golden axe. Is this your axe? This axe will mean that for all of your life, you will have money. And again she remembered, Amandine. Nay. And the river god went down again. And this time came up with that old rusty axe. Is it yours? Yes, that's mine. That old rusty axe, that's mine. And the river god laughed and said, because you have been honest and true. And down he went, and he picked up the silver axe and the gold axe, and he said, these are yours. You can sell them. They are yours. And she was so grateful, because by now she had realized that when she had been that rich woman in Bangladesh, she hadn't cared about all the people around her. And now she knew what it was like to have no money. And she went back. And she thought about what she was going to do to help where she lived with the money she had. But meanwhile, as people began to talk about it, the other woman heard. And she came and said, "We come from the same place. Give me your rusty old axe now." Ewa. The selfish, angry, bitter woman went into the middle. She found the tree. She just went, and off the axe went down into the river. Up came the river god with the golden axe. "Is this yours?" "Yes, yes, yes, it's mine, mine. Give it to me now." And with that, the river god disappeared, taking the gold axe, the silver axe, and the rusty old iron axe. And the bitter, angry, selfish woman was left with nothing. Because it is just a truth that in life, bitter, angry, selfish people always have nothing. But the other woman who discovered what she really had and who she really was rich in many ways throughout her new life. Kahani Gatam Hogi.